There has been more progress with the current government than the previous government, there's no doubt about that. But progress has been slow. And whilst some require legislation, which of necessity takes time, there are others that could be implemented relatively quickly.
Did you think there is a sense, perhaps, that politicians talk about this when it's a kind of controversial news story and they're pushed to it by the likes of Elon Musk, but not on a day-to-day basis?
That is a conclusion one could easily reach on this, that why is this not more of a priority? Why is it that the welfare of children and the lifelong impact it can have on children's experiences as adults is not of the greatest priority?
Well, what is your answer to that question?
I have no clear understanding of why that would be, but I do hope that it doesn't reflect, if you like, some kind of priority being attached to different forms of victimhood.
Well, let's talk about the real-world impact of the failures by successive governments and political parties to tackle abuse effectively. We've had a review on the Sarah Sharif abuse and murder today. Another review, another inquiry. I mean, nothing seems to change. Why not?
I don't know the detail of today's review publication, but I am aware from the inquiry's work of the number of reviews in different areas. They made clear-cut recommendations and they were left to sit on the shelf. They had proper solutions perhaps, or recommendations, and nothing took place, which kind of suggests that the act of reviewing was more important than the outcome.
A kind of performative thing.
Possibly.
You talk about these reviews and inquiries sitting on a shelf, gathering dust, people not really looking at them or at least implementing them. Your 7-year inquiry cost £186 million. 7,000 victims contributed to it. What was the point for them? I mean, is that just a colossal waste of money?
It will be if the implementation of the recommendations doesn't move more quickly than it currently is. It most certainly will be, because they were given great hope. I mean, I was in a meeting where earlier this week where a victim said, "Don't give us any more promises. We don't want promises." And then we get explanations of why the promise hasn't been delivered. We just want people to get on and do it who are in a position to make the changes.
Let's talk about grooming gangs of a different sort, or organised networks, as you would describe it. The Met is refusing to investigate Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. The former prosecutor, Nazir Afzal, suggested that if Andrew had been a brown guy in Rochdale, to use Nazir Afzal's words, the police would have investigated. Do you agree with that?
Well, even though the law in relation to transnational issues, if we can describe them as that, better than I do, and I don't fully understand the legalities of possible action, but undoubtedly there has to be some kind of accountability.
And whether that's someone who used to be a prince or is still someone who's connected to one of the most powerful institutions in the land, that shouldn't matter to the police.
Well, of course not. And one of the features we found of institutions was relevant, far too much deference to people in authority or who had social status.
Do you think deference is why the Met haven't investigated Andrew so far?
Oh, no, I could never make that judgment.
Professor Alexis Jay, thank you very much.